Good evening, folks. Welcome back to the channel. Good to see you. It always is. I hope you're doing well. Quarter-final time for us over in Germany and in London. As always, we're going to go through each and every one of these matches today. See if there's anything we like the look of as we go along. Be sure to get yourself involved, get your predictions in the comments, best bets, all that stuff. Anything I'm going for personally, that will be in the pinned comments. So before we get started, like the video, get yourself subscribed to the channel if you're not. Appreciate it if you did. We're around 10, 11 away from 1.7. You know what to do. Get yourself involved. We'd all love to have you. Very well. Happy days. First things first, how did we get on yesterday? I'll go first. 1-1 for me. It was always going to be Rublev. I can certainly live with that. I was happy with Thomas Machac. No damage done for me there. We'll touch on the results in a moment. But yeah, share with the group. Let me know. Did you win? Did you lose? Did you come close? And now that's out the way, we shall waste no more time and get straight to it. First off, over in Germany for us today, got Alex Michelsen, Daniel Medvedev. It's be an interesting one. Should be an interesting one. I think it's easy to look at this and go, yeah, Medvedev. I'd probably lean towards Medvedev straight off the bat, but Alex Michelsen is no joke on the grass. Bit of a close one against Rinderknech, first time out. And then, did he not look good against Tsitsipas? I thought he did. Tough game, solid game. Tie-break in the first, 7-5 in the second. Nice. Safe to say, he'll definitely fancy himself to get this one done. Beating Tsitsipas on the grass is one thing, getting past Daniel Medvedev is another. It just is. These have both looked decent. I mean, they've both won 6 of the last 10. Medvedev hasn't dropped a set yet. He beat Daniel Altmaier and Quinton Hallis, both quite comfortably too. It would be a slight lean, and I do mean the slightest of leans with Medvedev. You're talking 1.4 for the Russian. I think Michelsen could keep this one close. I think Alex Michelsen could just spring an upset here. I do. I think an upset is most definitely not out of the equation in this one. They played each other. They were supposed to play each other at Indian Wells this year. That ended up at the retirement. It was dead quick. 2 games, something like that. Yeah, we didn't get to see much of that one. Tough, man. Contrary to what the odds would suggest, I think this one might be a little bit closer than what you'd think. Am I brave enough to fire, I don't know, Michelsen for a set? Something like that would be a nice odds. As opposed to Daniel Medvedev just straight up. Would I roll the dice at 1.4? Probably not. Probably not. We know Michelsen is very, very good on the grass, but I think Medvedev's rather decent too. I really do. No doubt the American will have his work cut out for him in this one, but we could be in for a little overspot. Total games played, you let me know. Ultimately, I feel like Medvedev, I feel like he could definitely win this one. No doubt he could win this one, but to say he should win it, I don't know. I don't want to sleep on Alex Michelsen that much. I am quite familiar with this lad's game, but we'll leave that one there. And then we'll move on to Flavio Cobolli and Zverev. This be another good one. No easy matches left. Well, you'd say no easy matches left. We'll get to 1 or 2 of them in a minute, but would you say this is one of them? I wouldn't. Zverev 1.13, massive favourite in this. Been fairly impressed with Flavio Cobolli. We had a feeling he'd get past El Chapo. Well done if you took that one. He has went to 3 sets in his first 2 games over in Germany. Zverev dropped one to Sonego today, the first one. Looked a little bit dicey. Managed to come back and pull that one back. And then he looked really good against Marcus Giron, first time out. Really good form for the pair of these coming off the clay onto the grass. 8 out of his last 10 for Zverev, 9 in the last 10 for Flavio Cobolli. Look, big spread. He's like a 6-1 dog here. You'll get a big spread for that. I don't know, what, 4.5? Buy a point, 5.5. You'll still get much better odds as opposed to Zverev straight up in this one. They did play each other earlier on in the year, and not that long ago at all, over in the French Open. That did go the way of Zverev. Straight sets, 6-2 tiebreaker, and then 6-1. Now, considering the clay is Flavio Cobolli's preferred surface, that does seem quite ominous, does it not? If you can beat him like that on the clay, I imagine you'll have a pretty good go, if not a slightly better chance of beating him on the grass. That's just food for thought. I wouldn't be taking Zverev, especially at that price. We could drop on to Sonego. You can drop a set to Sonego. You can most definitely drop one to Flavio Cobolli. I think he can keep it close. But that French Open result does sort of put me off. I know the surfaces are completely different, but I don't know. Maybe Cobolli can keep this one close. I wouldn't mind just rolling the dice on the spread in this one and just hoping for X amount of games. Someone let me know what it is. Is it 4.5? I'd imagine so. I don't think I could talk it off it. Not while Cobolli's playing this good. No. He's been a dog in his first 2 games and he's won both of them. I'm not saying he's going to win this, but I do think he could keep it a bit more competitive than what those odds are suggesting. So probably Flavio Cobolli on the spread in that one. And then we've got Alexander Bublik and Thomas Machac. I believe Bublik beat Sinner today. That was quite the upset, was it not? Does tend to play fairly decent over here, does Alexander Bublik, but even still, I fully expected Jannik Sinner to get that one done today. Now I'm seeing Bublik at around 1.35, 1.4 against Thomas Machac. That's obviously you've just beat Jannik Sinner. You're going to be heavily favoured coming up against pretty much anyone else in the same tournament, but 1.3, 1.4, that's very steep. I think it's a bit steep. Obviously giving him some respect, taking out Jannik Sinner, but I don't know, man. You can't deny the form of fucking Bublik at the moment, can you? Jesus Christ, I mean, he continues to play well. He was playing really shit all year, right up until the moment that he wasn't. And he's still hitting form. 8 of his last 10. That loss to Gio in Hamburg and then one to Sinner in the French Open. Most definitely got himself a little bit of revenge today. What can you do? What can you do with this guy when he's playing like this? He did win this tournament a couple of years ago as well, 2023 to be exact. Now, I thought Thomas Machac looked decent against Fabian Madison. A lot of people hated that one. Fairly so. I mean, I expected, like I said, Thomas Machac, I thought the price would have been a little bit worse for Thomas Machac. The fact I got him at 1.8 seemed like an absolute steal. I'm pretty sure he was around 1.3, something like that last time they played. It's neither here nor there. I was quite certain Thomas Machac on the day was going to get past Fabian Madison. He looked a lot better, a lot more convincing than what he did against Jesper de Jong. And we've seen him do this time and time again. Tends to grow into these tournaments. Like we said, we are kind of gambling on the unknown when it comes to Thomas Machac and the grass court, but I definitely think there's a player within. I do. There's definitely a player within on this surface. We know how good he is on the hard court. These grass courts are super quick as well. He's hard to handle, very tough to handle. Now, obviously with Bublik just taking out Jannik Sinner, I feel like it probably wouldn't be wise to go against him, right? But I don't know, man. I probably wouldn't mind Thomas Machac on them points. Once again, what is it, 2.5, maybe 3.5? Probably not 3. Probably going to have to assess the situation a little bit more when I get to work and then while I'm uploading the video, but there's something inside me and it's just saying Thomas Machac in this one. So you hated it yesterday, you'll hate it even more today, but you thought he didn't stand a chance against Fabian Madison. He weren't going to do this, he weren't going to do that. And he just turned up and wiped the floor with him. Now, I'm not saying he's going to do the same against Bublik today, I'm just guessing, you know. That's all we're doing here, is just guessing really, innit? I wouldn't mind Machac on them points. Simple as that. I don't think I've got much more to say. Bublik turns up and wins it. He turns up and wins it. I think there's a bit of money coming in on Machac. That probably drops. You'll get Bublik around 1.4, maybe even 1.45, depending where you look. If you're lucky enough, you let me know. You going with that? You've got to pick your poison on this one, haven't you? I wouldn't mind Thomas match. I wouldn't. Massive upset against Sinner today. Did not see that one coming. Is he going to be able to replicate that? Like I say, he has won this tournament before. He does play well on the grass. Wouldn't be surprised to see him pull it off once more, but we find ourselves saying a few times this tournament, especially with these players who have operated at an extremely high level, pulled off these big upsets. What are the odds you're going to do it again? Even though, according to the bookies, this would not be anywhere near an upset if Bublik was to pull this off, but are you going to play as good as what you did against Jannik Sinner? Will that be enough? I don't know. You're going to play slightly worse. Will Machac elevate his level? It's going to be a very interesting match. I'm super looking forward to this. I'd leave with Machac maybe for a set, maybe on the points. I don't know. If he turns up and just gets dog walked, I'd be very disappointed in that. But we'll wrap it up in Germany with Etcheverry and Khachanov. I'm just going to be going with Khachanov on this. Plain and simple. I'm not going to be betting him. Probably not. But I am expecting Khachanov to get this one done. I can't believe Rublev didn't even get that done in the end. It got to the point with that match. I'd just give up hope. I didn't really care about the spread. Obviously, I had the Thomas Machac win in the pocket. I just wanted him to win in the end. I didn't even care about the bet. I just wanted Rublev to win. And he didn't. And I don't know how he didn't win. He was saving for it as well. Double fault. Big smash comes in. He takes it first time, puts it right into the net. And I'd say you couldn't write it, but you really can with this guy. You just can. What am I to do? You'd think I'd learnt my lesson with Rublev right now, but look, I can't take anything away from Etcheverry. I feel like he did play a little bit better than what I thought he would. And I said this at the start of the tournament, he tends to do that. But come on, man. Come on, Rublev. What the fuck was that? What were you playing at? It's all good. It's okay. Like I say, you can't complain about it. Like I said in yesterday's video, if you did have a go on Rublev on the spread, or I've seen people just taking him on the money line, you're more than aware of the dangers and the risks of doing business with this guy. And if you weren't before, surely you are now. I didn't think he was going to get past Rublev, and he did. He probably shouldn't get past Khachanov, but he just might. So it's enough for me to stay out of this one. I thought Khachanov looked solid enough against Felix today. You're going to beat Zizou Bergs, you're going to beat Felix, I'd imagine you're going to beat Etcheverry on the grass. I think it's just the Rublev result. It's got me nervous to bet against Etcheverry at the moment, but I need to just tell myself that it's a Rublev thing, innit? It's a Rublev thing. It's alright. You should be okay with Khachanov today, folks. And then heading on over to London. Shouldn't take much time. 2 decent ones, and then 2 should be rather short and sweet. First off, got Lehecka and Jacob Fearnley. It kills me to say it. You know it does. It kills me so, but I'll probably go with Lehecka on this one. It doesn't kill me to say I like both of them. Massive fan of both of these. I always tend to back me guys from Britain, but I don't think I can in this one. I knew he'd beat Bolt. I knew he'd beat Codrington Mutet, although it was a little bit close. Lehecka's been flying. And I said it about him at the start of the tournament. When he's on, he's very hard to beat. Just smoked Alex de Minaur. Turned up and beat Gabe Diallo. Not going to take too much from that. Diallo's played a lot of tennis. As of late. A lot of high-level tennis as well. And the fact that Diallo had played so much good tennis prior to that matchup, and he was quite a decent dog, kind of told you somewhat of a tale within itself. 6-4, 6-2 for Lehecka in that one. and then a nice little 6-4, 6-2 against the Demon. Sound. I think Jacob Fearnley's been playing good. Not only this week, he's been playing decent all season. Most definitely coming along very nicely. I think Lehecka's a step up. Has he got enough to take out Jiří Lehecka at the moment? I'd say so. On his day, yeah, he could definitely do it. With him being in Queens as well, obviously that added bit of inspiration to get this one done is going to fuel him. But I don't know, man. I mean, come on. Smoke the Demon. Smoke Diallo. He might just turn up and do this as well. Probably in straight sets. Jacob Fearnley's good, but I don't think he's as good as Jiří Lehecka, just not quite. You want to take either one for a set, be my say either one. If you want to take Fearnley for a set, be my Christopher Guest. Both of these the same age, and you just look at where they are in the careers. All right, Jiří Lehecka's 30 in the world. Jacob Fearnley's number 60. He's took quite a rise over the past couple of months. 22 and 12 for Lehecka, 24 and 14. I'm praying Fearnley can keep this close. I'd love him to win this. I'm totally not opposed in winning this, but I'm not against Lehecka winning it either. Like I said, I like both of these. Probably just prefer to watch this and just see what happens. It could be an overspot, but I feel like it would not be wise to go against Jiří Lehecka the way he's playing, even if it is with Fearnley in London. I just approach it with a little bit of caution. 1.5 for Jiří Lehecka looks fine. It looks fine. Is he going to crumble to the pressure with the crowd? Probably not. I wouldn't have thought so. So we'll move on to Brandon Nakashima, Jack Draper. Jack Draper squad. He had us fucking sweating bullets for that one, didn't he, the other day? Good shit in the end, getting past Popper and Orlo. It was a lot closer than I would have liked. Jensen Brooksby was a lot more convincing prior to that one. Beanax looked decent too. Gio and Pechi Pericard, Dan Evans. And he's a big dog in this one, you know. 4-1, 5-1 dog for the American. Played each other 3 times before. 2-1 to Jack Draper. He's won the last 2 meetings. Beat him on the grass last year in Stuttgart, 6-3, 6-3. That's the only time they've played on the grass too. I think he's going to beat him again. But I think I speak for us all when I say I don't really fancy having to sweat 1.2 on the decimal and having to go through what they put us through in that last match. It was a lot closer that way, innit? I'd have liked a lot quicker, a lot more of a convincing victory for a price like that. I'm not going to lie. I do still have Jack Draper on the outright, so that's going to be enough for me to sit on. Beanac for a set out. Look, Popperin can take a set. Popperin keeps it that close. I think Beanac could definitely do that. No, I'm not saying take him for a set, but I'm just saying it's food for thought. Look at the points. Look at Beanac one way or another in this. I don't think he wins. I do think Draper comes out victorious in this one, but say if you took him a couple of days ago, you probably don't fancy taking that again. Especially if you've still got him on an outright like I have. I'll just sit on this one. I imagine Jack Draper gets it done. And we've got Carlos Alcaraz, Artur Rinderknech. Look, straight off the bat, really quick. I was going to say Artur Alcaraz then. Carlos Alcaraz, 1.04 on the decimal. 0 business to be done. Unless you think Rinderknech can save enough bullets in this to win himself a certain amount of games, and then you take that spread, and then it's happy days. But I don't know, man. I don't know. It's worked against everyone else. Ben Shelton, Vali Opelka, straight sets. Alcaraz did drop one to Jaume Munar today. You take from that what you will. There's not much you can do with this other than have a little go on the dog, maybe lean on a total. I'm not too sure. This could be a very comfortable victory for Alcaraz, but I thought Jaume Munar would be. Complete contrasting styles, I admit. Artur Rinderknech, I think Alcaraz just wraps himself around the serve and then just does the rest. Very possible. But Rinderknech has been strong, man. There's not a lot you can do with that serve when it comes in the way it does. So, it's entirely up to you. You pay your money. You do take your choice. It's got to be Alcaraz. As a winner, I will always take Alcaraz. He's played him twice before and he's won both of them. Actually in Queens 2 years ago as well. Very close game. Arthur Rinderknech took a set off him then as well. Could keep it close. He could keep it close. Let me know. Do you think Rinderknech on them points is not a bad little shout? Maybe by a point or two. You'll still get better odds than 1.03. I tell you that. And then wrapping this shit up with Holger Rune, Roberto Bautista Agut. I was very, very impressed with Holger Rune the other day against Mackenzie McDonald. I had a couple of concerns after the first set. He didn't really look with it in that first set, dropped it 6-2. And then he must have seen it was going dark, didn't want to extend it any longer. He looked over to his box, said, how much time have I got left? They must have said about an hour and 10 minutes. Yeah, sound, don't worry about it. 6-1, 6-1. He just came out and just saved him off the court. Ace after ace after ace. On fire. On fire. Probably some of the highest level tennis I've seen from Holger Rune in a good while. Very impressed. I was impressed enough against Christopher O'Connell, but even more so, especially after dropping that first set the way he did, to just come back and just peg him into the floor like that. Say something about it. Bautista Agut, 3 sets in his last 2. Now, although he's still here, that is an achievement in itself. Is he going to get past Holger Rune, pull off the upset today? I wouldn't have thought so. Absolutely not. Decent against Nuno Bosch, 3 sets. Decent enough against Jakob Mensah, 3 sets. I do feel like Jakob Mensah, although he's really good, solid talent, he is yet to find his feet on the grass. And I'm not making excuses for him, but you could have always made an argument that Bautista Agut was going to win that. I know 1 or 2 years took Bautista Agut as a little punt, as a dog. Well done to you there. Don't think he gets past Holger Rune. I don't. I say after the first one, going 3 sets, I thought he'd have been a little bit worse for wear coming up against Mensah, but he weren't. But he did have a bit of a grinding match against him too. Is he going to be up for a third if need be? I don't think so. Will Holger Rune even give you the chance to keep it that close? I don't know. If he turns up and does like what he does to Mackenzie McDonald, I think it'll be a quick day. I think it'll be a short day for Holger Rune. 1.4. No, it's not 1.3. It's a 1.35. Solid parlay piece. You do with that what you will. I'm going to leave it there because I've got a night shift to go to and I'm running a bit late. Very well, folks. Appreciate you stopping by, as always. Means a lot to me. Take it easy, yeah, you take it easy. Take care of yourselves, take care of one another. It's the most important thing. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Best bet in the comments that I'm going for will be in that pinned comment. And I shall be saying good night to you. Best of luck. See if we can do some damage today. You know what? It's not too bad. I started off the week 0-2. The first 2 days. The last 2 days have ended up 2-1. 2-3 on the total. I do still have 2 outrights that live and breathe. It still looking good. There's still time for me. Yeah, only 1 away from pulling it back to even. So, or 2 away, depending. I don't fucking care. It is what it is. It's the end of the video. We'll touch on it more tomorrow. See you later, folks. Yeah, best of luck to you, Jack Draper squad. Let's go get it once again today. Let's go get that cash. I'll see you tomorrow.